Here, we've got all the teams in their own right, and that means, well, all of these players will have their own teams. Essentially, they're playing for themselves, but the players themselves will come from the teams that we have in the PMGC Grand Finals either way. So there we have it. S2G, A7, Vampire. Everyone is here. Everyone is going to be coming in. 64 players, 3,000 for the winner.
Any predictions, Max?
I was going to say predictions. I have one that I think you can't really expect. I'm going to go with Kenzo from Beerround. Reason why, this guy, when we saw him play, just always said, oh man.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on.
Where's that? Ooh, okay. The Indonesian fans are coming in. They're bringing in the hype. Ooh. I'm loving this. This is a big group, by the way.
This is not. These are alter ego.
Alter ego, baby. They showed up. We were talking about, are they going to be feeling the pressure? Are they going to be feeling the love from their fans? I think they will now.
Because, of course, we didn't have enough people screaming earlier when Alter Ego were here. We needed more people.
They got the memo.
In terms of Alter Ego, tell me, guys, show match, Zolos, is that something that you think a player, especially someone that is so focused in towards, getting started, well, you can't really because you have a show match coming up. Is that something that you think will disrupt their state of flow to some degree?
No.
They want to start getting into the matches. Do you think that show match is not going to bother them at all?
Nah, this is just fun.
I think this is just to get the four fingers off Paraboy heated up. It's like, okay, now I'm feeling in a vibes like a mini TDM, well, a pretty big TDM.
Yeah, I think they're just going to be all having fun. And for my prediction, I think it's whoever ends up being blessed with the circle at the end.
You know what? Circles could be pretty important in PUBG Mobile in general. But yeah, I mean, it's just going to be, as we said, a fun game mode, right? And it's just going to set maybe a few expectations for teams that are looking already hot.
I do hope if we end up with the 1v1 at the end, I want to see it pan off, okay?
Wait a minute. You didn't give your prediction.
I did.
Who was it? I forgot.
Whoever gets blitzed by the circle.
That's
a broad one.
I'll tell you after the game.
What? No, you got... Okay.
I can tell you mine, though.
Oh, yeah.
I am going for the absolute GOAT that I was so scared to approach to take a photo, which is Paraboy. I'm just going to say it like that. I'm one of these Paraboy Instagram fan page scrolling guys. I literally am.
That's a cop-out answer.
I am.
It's too easy.
I know it's too easy, but I'll just go for it anyways because, if no one else doing it, then I will.
Look at the Alpha 7
so
people.
much. It's very soon
down,
starting. We saw an army approaching the audience, and that army has just arrived to support their favorite teams. It might be Alter Ego. I do believe most of them were here for Alter Ego. And with that being said, we are very soon going over to the casters. With us today is none other than John Allen and the potentially most fashionable man in esports. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much.
It's me, Blank.
It's Blank. That's who it is who's with me today. We are so excited to kick things off here for the PMGC with the show match. 1 versus 1's going to be happening towards the end of it, but there's so much more to get through before that as well.
At least 64 1v1s could be happening right now. Well,
32?
32?
I don't know.
32. I would say 32, but it could happen. Let's not go into numbers here because it's going to get very confusing very quickly. We'll start having to multiplying on top of each other. We don't want to do that right now, do we? So we're going into our 1v1s here. This is our show match to start the day off. This is going to be a quick one, but this could be a really good place to cement yourselves as one of those players that you want to watch out for in the lobby, because I do think we have some hot contenders that looked great yesterday. The crowd is very loud at the moment, which makes me extremely happy. I'm going to feed off that energy like a vampire and bring it straight to the stage here.
Oh, fantastic. I like it. I like it. We were looking at a couple of the players. They were talking about them over on the desk. We were sort of looking around. My outside pick, I would say, for me, Kenzo. I'm looking for this guy. He was really, really strong for Buradam during their performance, during the group stages, during those parts of the tournament.
For sure.
In a solo capacity, I think he's got the legs.
I think he does as well. I think he really does bring up the absolute speed on that team. And I think you look at a player like Nenebete, he's very, very good, very fast, very slick with it, getting into position, but a lot of times that is a case of getting those end game points. It's not necessarily getting up towards that top side. Was definitely a really, really strong player over in that league stage. Maybe another player that I'm looking at is Stoned from VPE. Ooh. Really, really strong player from there. Individually, very good. On the other hand of things, I do worry about that player sometimes because he is extremely good at the game, but he has his dips now and then. But I think that this could easily be a position where he's able to take on top. There's your boy. If you don't know who he is, get to know, and I'm sure you will do soon, so I'm not going to spoil anything just yet. But his name ends with Yang and starts with James, so just wait and see.
I'm sure we'll be hearing a little bit more from him later on. But going into this 1 versus 1, I feel like default winner, Order. Unless someone pops off, Order wins, right?
Yeah, so I was saying the same thing actually, right at the beginning. I was saying, you know, Order was a really strong player coming through from Nova. It feels like a cop-out pick though, really, you know. I want to choose someone else just because, you know, although it does feel like Order will probably go to this one and smash out the park, there's definitely a chance here for something else to happen.
Well, let's go right into game number 1 with Erangel starting from a military plane all the way up to the northeast side. Kameshki for the plane path on this solos game. Now, if you have seen the map before, you will be familiar that there are normally team colors blank. None of those colors exist this time around. It is all 4-1.
It's a grey world out here today, and it's a little bit of a grim world as well because you can go out real quickly. Other than the one yellow player that we do have on our screen, which should flit around a little bit. That's the one we're currently holding, following over on that map feed. But other than that little splash of colour, yeah, everyone's out to get one another during this lobby. Already we're getting players dropping down over towards Sosnovka here. T2K dropping together, in fact, which... Ooh, is it going to be, you know, T2K on T2K action right at the beginning of the game?
I mean, there's prize money on the line for this game as well, right? You know, it's when friends can become enemies. It looks like a little bit of damage dealt there. Legend seemingly unfazed by the presence of a teammate, but there are shots being loose down the corridor, so potentially a bit of a scuffle here on the T2K drop down south. For the early doors, a nade pin being pulled. King moves forward, steps in their ears. It doesn't quite manage to get the nade through the door. It's unfortunate, won't do too much damage there. Legend upstairs now with a Vector. Close range, devastating weapon. Rig, Tommy gun, equally powerful in these scenarios, especially when you're lacking the armor. Molotov to reposition. But no eliminations just yet.
Seems like T2K are drawing this fight out just a little bit. Can certainly move. That's the first circle as well that we have seen in PMGC. Over towards that western side of the map. A lot of water in this one. Should start to shrink pretty quickly though. Over towards Quarry side most likely. Could head up towards that north on Hospital. Just on that lower edge of Everest. But T2K not doing too much. This feels like... I don't know how I feel about this, in fact.
Well, no one wants to go down first, right? I feel like even within the team it's going to cause bragging rights, but we're going to hop over to a different fight. This is Nova. I think this is Order downstairs with Federal from Influence Kemin playing around the side. AKM in hand, double barrel reload needing to come through for Order. Reposition. Auto shotgun as well in hand, suppressing these windows. And Federal just does not want to give this angle. Spots Order, shots through the window, and default winner down.
I mean, Federal's the one to do it there. Coming through from his team, I mean, Federal really puts on a clinic over in his group. And Order just couldn't step to it. Quick peek around the window. Straight on the headshot. Order didn't see it coming.
Ooh. Rig around the sideline, spots the player, has to duck back in, sees him still there. Behind the box, not going to go for it, doesn't have the angle. Rig looks for a second, but the armor is super damaged right now. Will not matter, a single bullet, all it takes. The Vector pushes, but allows Rig to move out through the side, drops all the way down and around. Goodness me, he's acrobatic today with it. Rig back downstairs and into a little bit of safety. Don't think there's too many meds on board yet, though.
Rig there with the first aid kit, can get back up to 70. On the other hand, T2K's other player, not looking so strong there. Does get the resupply on the third. Level 3 helmet there as well, some gear.
Ooh.
That's not going to see you too far with the amount of HP still on board. Alex from HC in Alamo currently. Looks down towards Kengzo from Buradam. So a lot of our big heavy hitters so far already taking a lot of damage. Order, I mean, out almost instantaneously. That's a Maxman curse for you.
That's right. That's what happens when Maxman turns his powerful gaze upon you.
Yeah.
You do wither sometimes. Got to be a
And
little
there
bit
he
stronger.
goes.
There's Kengzo.
Yeah.
There's my pick going down. It's
Dear
like,
me.
it's really all to play for on this one.
Be an unsurprising pick coming through. Rig with the 1v3 there. Takes them all down. Really well played. And now gets a very nice resupply. Only thing he's massively lacking at the moment is that medical supplies. But with the entirety of Sosnovka practically to himself, other than Alter Ego's Fnatic down towards that southwest side, it's pretty easy for him to pick up a nice amount of kit and get himself over towards that west side of the map.
Alex moving across the ground there in the open. was pretty close to Kingzo, to be fair. We do call him that from time to time. He's got a lot of power. Power Boy now in a little bit of trouble against Lutz, pushing forward with the Bison, but from the grass, Power Boy stays alive. And Nova still have one of their heavy hitters.
I mean, you say Nova has one of their heavy hitters. They're all
one of the four.
Pretty big batters.
One of the four heavy hitters.
One of the four heavy hitters, that's for sure. Potato coming against Alex from IHC, gets the DP out just a little bit more to put it in there, but can't finish it off.
Alex, slick with it around the back of the buggy. Playing a little bit too spiky for the alter ego home turf player.
Fortunate stuff there. Just a few bullets had to zip through, maybe the window or the chassis itself, but Potato's out in the open and Alex just had to bide his time. Quick peek, nice and easy. DRS rules.
Oh!
Easily done there. Vitali's out and down. That's kind of DRS gameplay though. You know, you sit in the top of a house and just wait for someone. They are quite campy as a team, honestly. But I mean, if it works, it works, right? They get to have marshmallows as well, so I can't complain.
That was a cracking pre-fire on that. I really, really enjoyed that as well. He's heard those steps coming through. He's like, well, he's going to run through the door right now, so I'll just start firing before he even has the angle. Very, very well orchestrated there. I feel like in these solo scenarios, the value of nades is going to go up vastly, Blank, because you're just going to be able to completely wipe someone out instantly. Remember, there's no knocks. You can't get rezzed because you are playing solo.
Yeah, it will be one of those cases of just complete unfortunate circumstance of nade comes your way, you had no idea the player knew your position in the meantime, you're done, it's out, Federal looking for some kind of cover there, but Becker from Inco to finish the job. Federal's actually moving out back again. Those nice little Peeper Bison buffs coming through. Makes that thing absolutely deadly.
I think it was the suppressor as well on their Mythic from Alpha 7. Sees Remember crawling past the corner. There's the pin pulled. Remember will hear that. Pushes up to the wall as well. Mythic now position known. Remember hops out the back into the sidelines. Opens the door. Spots the ankle of Mythic, but doesn't manage to get one more bullet in that he needed. Mythic not really going to have the opportunity to heal just yet. Spots the player rotating on the outside, and Mythic's out up top. Wants to bank a nade off of the crates, but Remember not going to give him that chance from Wolf. Nade down the stairs, and it backs him off for now. The Chinese team want to keep their player alive, Remember.
Oh, flashbang.
Flashbang around the edge, but Mythic stays tucked in. Wants to spot it with the DBS, doesn't manage to land that first ka-chunk, but the second is good. Remember falls.
That's deep in the tummy as well. You're not recovering from that one. Surprised it took even just the one pump there.
Ooh,
probably half a pump would have done it.
Was that a nade both ways between
I think it might have been.
and I didn't catch who else it was, but I think they just eliminated each other.
If it was Solke and Kelsey, then yes, because they were both rotating up on the top side of Stalber, and I don't see either of them anymore.
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, you know it was. It was S2G and Fireflux coming up in the elimination feed. So that's unfortunate. Neither of them going to get the chance to move further forwards. Revo, though, with his shot to take on Kaovski from Influence Kemen. Nades going back and forwards. 3 in the pocket for Revo. Only 2 for Kaovski as he launches another one over towards the tree. Will do a lot of damage there, but Revo stays alive for the moment.
Revo been absolutely killer over on Alpha 7.
There it is.
Unfortunately, Kaovski's just got his number. Had a ton of grenades still left in the pocket. Kept sending them through. The job was done pretty easily off the back of that. IHC, there were a couple of players over on that western side, but as the circle shifts hard down towards that west. So on the coastal side, a lot of cover to be had, a lot of areas to be played. The yellows down on that west side as well, on the road. That could be a nice place to pick up. But again, these are very shareable spots here in the solos.
38 players remaining now as Rig did fall on the Sosnovka military base, the last remaining player of T2K who won out that scrap on the south. Will no longer have a member in action. They can turn their focus to the main tournament and watch the rest of this lovely show match.
Action, takes shots up towards Silas. Cannot quite get the job done though. Silas thinks to himself to maybe try and pick off some more players. Nova still running, I think, with 3 at this point in time, with Order being the only one to fall so far. 4 AM with 2 players up towards shooting range, and that box compound, that's MW, as well as one more Influence Kemin, Kayovski, Little Boy took out Law earlier, so 2 players still going from Influence Kemin. Very strong couple of set of players there.
Action from Stalwart. Very powerful himself. Little Boy there. Close to one of the geeks. Launches the nade. I feel like they know of each other's presence here. Damn rude. Wants to put a nade over. 5 nades as well. I feel like the players have kind of sensed the value of these nades go up in this solo scenario.
Yeah, it's the 1-2 punch, right? I mean, this is the meta getting instantly defined as we go on. This is more of a case of getting those nades. It comes later on in the game. You're able to get those bits of equipment much easier as you're able to journey through.
Oh.
Shotgun, though, from Action. Will take down Mythic. Stepped into the wrong building, buddy.
Shotguns both ways on that engagement. Mythic not given the space, not given that breathing room. Rules on the buggy now. Pushes the players from Alter Ego back, or the player, singular. Yuhai close to King. King spots him first, gets the drop on him, but Yuhai ducks back behind the cover, steps up for a challenge, but King finishes it off.
King from Nova. We used to call this guy the King Cobra because he was one of the ultimate snakes from Nova. Able to do some really good work towards that end game to pick themselves up some additional points towards that top 15. So it was very, very nice for them. It's cool to see him still hanging around with the boys, doing good work here over in the solos. I mean, it's such a big organization at this point in time for Nova. I think it's over $6 million currently earned in prize winnings. They can just afford to keep these players on and grab all the coaches and analysts they need to maybe show up some of those mistakes.
So high value on infrastructure moving into the future of PUBG Mobile esports. Definitely worth investing in, and the value of that will be shown. Alter Ego finding another elimination. Over onto one more of the geeks. Bonbit moving through as well, northeast side of the next circle. As things start to get a little bit more tight and packed on that west coast.
Players being grouped up together here. I said we see that splashy yellow be taken somewhere else, but on our map feed, still on King. Refuses to go down without fight. Little Boy, Svan, so Paraboy, Scry, still quite far outside of the circle. Razy, in fact, up towards the north side of Rozok, so a long way for this guy to go. Good Xiao from 4 AM, still making his way down from North George. We'll have to pass through Ravenclaw, as well as one other player from 4 AM. Right now, we could quite easily say that Buradam, my name P, got a good spot. This guy really did put some good work in over in the group stage. He made it look good. I think a lot of people focus on Kengzo, but you cannot forget about this guy.
Silas getting shots popped off his way. And trades on these hillsides. I mean, you can't really trade at all. Peaks are going to be few and far between. Unless you can isolate one of those angles like Jimmy's managed to find over towards one of the 4 AM players. WWX laid broad, actually steps in front of the tree, ducks back behind. I think he spotted Jimmy there. Rules, sees up the hill, lays down a player. Not going to be able to find that elimination yet, though.
Jimmy just hiding away. Ravenclaw really good with these off angles. Unfortunately, he is sandwiched between Jimmy as well as MW from 4 AM. My name P. Silas drops a nade up top side, shuffles around just a little bit, and I would too, but maybe giving away the presence. It's a little bit too much noise.
Beautiful over the top of the hill, but Micah stays alive with it. The UMP manages to find the shots it was looking for, managed to land center of mass there. A low HP bar there, but it's healed it up very, very quickly, and a resupply on the crate.
Really good stuff there from Micah. From very, very far to the team over on Geek Fam, a new addition for them. It's kind of that little bit of extra oomph that they needed on the team alongside with him and Yuhai. Made something very special out of Geek Fam from Malaysia. Looking to go a little bit further here in the PMGC. Obviously, this is just a show match, though. $3,000 still. Nice hefty chunk of cash going your way.
That's something I hadn't really thought about. Picked up there, I believe, was a Car 98 from Micah. Very, very powerful are these snipers. one shot and you're down and you're out. It's not even just those headshots that are going to get a knock, take some supplies away from the enemy team. That's just the full elimination right there, one and done.
Yeah, so you best have some of those level 3 helmets still on board because, yeah, there's no knocks. There's no knocks. It's just bish bosh out the lobby. No longer have a chance in hell at picking up that $3,000. Looking down towards Good Xiao. Jimmy alongside one another now. So Good Xiao maybe in a more of a position to take this 1v1 with Jimmy. Again, though, with My Name P, Silas. I think that's one other player there from Vampire Esports. Stoned. Player that I want to see do pretty well during this solos.
You did say that. And it looks like maybe what they were talking about over on the analyst desk is coming through. I feel like we're seeing more of the IGLs start to step up in this scenario. I mean, we still got players like Paraboy coming on through, but Jimmy in a phenomenal position on the north side of this and got so much control over this west coast.
Yeah, Jimmy's totally good to go at this point in time. He's in a strong spot. A lot of area to control for himself. He's looking up towards that northeastern side. Can cut off a lot of rotations as they come down. It's going to be difficult for Good Xiao to actually even try and take any pick-off shots at him without alerting the presence towards Action, Delta, My Name P, Ravenclaw. So Jimmy's in a really good spot at the moment. Fortunately, he is on that edge side of the circle. That is going to make life a lot harder later on.
Uh-oh, Delta cut down in his prime as My Name P steps out from the top rope. Nicely found there, Demo from IHC into the shack on the north side of the next circle, sailing straight on past. It's WWX from 4 Angry Men. Trying to find some cover, looking for a safe place. Unfortunately, not too many of them exist anymore. Jimmy spots his teammate, Good Shout, and will be able to take that one down. WWX also felled by Ravenclaw.
It's me. It's all starting to pop off just a little bit now. 16 players left remaining. Schweppes moves up. Alter Ego still has a player in this one. Fnatic moved all the way down from Sosnovka military base, so this has been one hell of a run for him. To get up towards his side, Schweppes down. That's DRS on the side, Rules there. Takes a cheeky shot towards him, and now Fnatic knows that there's players in the mix. Just had to send the vehicle in.
I don't think he knows that that player specifically went down. I mean, he probably heard the nade go off, so potentially is aware of that and takes the opportunity to get on into the vehicle. Send a lot further central over the bubbles near the swamp. And Fnatic playing this ridgeline. Demo is there as well, a little bit further north. The central compound now starting to pack itself out, starting to fill up those locations. We'll get more and more hotly contested over time. Killer sprays over towards Demo, has to go for the reload and spots him again. This time he tags it, has to leave the vehicle, has to leave the compound as well for Killer. Falls out the back.
Demo not in a great spot anymore, honestly. It's hard for him to get any kind of room to play with. Locked down 100%. Next circle about to pop on our screens. Heads up towards Jimmy. This is great. A great opportunity for him, actually. Opens up a real shot for him in this game. Stoned equally on a bit of high ground down towards that southwest side. It's just close enough for him to start to think about heading over towards Action. It's going to be very difficult for Action to hold the entirety of that compound all by his lonesome.
Killer smokes, keeping him safe from Jimmy right now. You've got to wonder how long that's going to last, and even if you do survive that, are you going to get away from the M249 Demos currently lugging around the battlefield? Catch a little bit further north on this as well, and a lot of open ground for these players to cover will be difficult. 14 remain.
Solus just keeping it relaxed, calm, down towards that south side. Heads to the vehicle now, might move up towards this loot crate. This gives a real good bit of a defilade to play behind. Stone might see him though. Opts instead to actually just send straight past. So this is up towards My Name P and Ravenclaw with S2G themselves. Rules really taking the DRS gameplay to the maximum, actually.
Ooh.
Keeps it nice and steady on that outer edge.
Catch rolls forwards to the burnt out pickup. The truck providing a little bit of cover. Kayovsky actually spots the shots over towards the northeast side as well. Influence coming with their player on the east edge. Jimmy will have to move a little bit further south though. Doesn't want to give up control over Ketch's position. And you can see Ketch dropping out that smoke line to give him time to get up to speed, make it harder for Jimmy to land those sprays.
Yeah, Jimmy's going to struggle just a little bit to find Ketch, but Ketch knows he needs to move. Fully stims up, sends out now. Moving across the battlefield, stops just a little bit short. Respect that from him. Doesn't want to go too far, just getting that vehicle in. If he can maintain that cover a little bit longer, means he has that vehicle for the late game.
Spotted on the sidelines, rules.